Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once again, Wednesday evening, the Shower Door Professionals, streaming at you live on Facebook and many other platforms to be announced. Hope you're doing well. It's like butter, piece of cake. No problems here. Glad you're with us. It's always fun. Just really never know what might happen. Yeah. So anyway, if you are not in the stream and you want to be, you can always just click on that link on the Facebook page. It'll route you right in here to the Zoom call and you can chat with us. Robert Gomez will be keeping a sharp eye on the list over there to see if he recognizes your name. If he doesn't, he's probably not going to let you in. But, if he does, he probably will. Anyway, how you guys doing? I'm getting some thumbs ups out there.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a nice week. Summer is like officially here. The sun is shining, the birds chirping. Oh man, tourists. Tourists are everywhere here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. Probably Tim over in your neck of the woods too, man, huh?
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
Pouring in.
Yep.
Yep. How about you, Christina? Big influx of tourists over there?
Actually, yeah, Copa
Really?
America here. Yeah, Copa America's here, so that's been a little wild in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true. You guys get a lot of like groups and stuff, conventions, stuff like that. That's a fun place to go for convention. Actually, I like it. The food is really good there. You guys got some good food in Atlanta. So yeah. So anyway, I was just talking to Christina the other day. I do that pretty regularly, pretty much every Tuesday. Get to see some of you guys. So what about that, Christina? What about those Tuesdays?
Yeah, so it was a productive Tuesday, but there's not a ton to report. We are continuing to review the co-op bylaws with the attorney and the CPA, and they're working in tandem with us to make sure everything makes sense. We're kind of working off some templates from existing co-ops, but we have to tailor it a little bit to what we're doing, and there's some tweaks and things and a lot of legalese involved. So it's a lot of just reading a 100-page legal document for 3 weeks. So that's what's going on. I promise there's progress, but it's slow going. And I think we just have one more meeting with them next week, and hopefully we'll be in a better place. Or finished place rather.
Right.
So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's all pretty good. It's just, this is kind of the grind part of the process of getting through this kind of legal stuff. But man, we made great progress. I'm really stoked and proud and happy and all those other feelings. Whoa feelings. It's pretty cool. So it's been a lot of fun doing that so far. And yeah, thanks for all your help and leadership, Christina, and the rest of you who show up. Robert Gomez, you're awesome. Keep things like, online and working and stuff.
I bring ideas to life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cool. So so how's business out there? It seems like things have been picking up over here. We had a pretty flat spot there for a while. It was weird because usually things just kind of flip on as soon as tax season's over. So middle of April, end of April, usually things start really picking up. Here they really didn't. I mean, it got kind of a few false starts. It's like looked like it was going to start to get busy, and then it kind of slowed down. oh man, and it looked like it was getting busy again, and it kind of slowed down. Now it's been kind of steadily coming in pretty good. Now we've got stuff to do pretty much every day, so that feels good. Get kind of nervous when it's too slow. How about you guys? You staying busy enough? What's going on? Has it been like normal or is it different?
Now the shower doors have slowed down a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we do everything, so yeah.
Right. Right. I mean, that's the thing. If all you're doing is shower doors and the shower door part slows down,
Like we got a ranch out here, we're doing 92 insulated units in to switch out.
so what are those, like wood sash windows or what?
Wood sash windows, yeah.
Oh boy, those are fun, man.
We did 31 of them last summer. And
So now
now
are
we're
are
gonna,
are they putty windows or are they just like wood stops?
they're wood stops.
Okay.
Cut them out. And I went out and counted 81, and the house manager called up, says, I counted 92, and I said, well, we're talking on the phone, there's more gonna go bad. And so we're at 92 right now.
92. That sounds like a party for sure, man.
And there's a little bit of money behind that place.
Yeah.
His mailing address is Avenues of the America, New York.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into doing some of those like a few years back. Just I don't know. Somebody's got my name from somebody else, and it is a really nice home on an apple orchard here in Santa Cruz
Yeah.
County. And it was like, yeah, one of those houses that had like hundreds and hundreds of these divided light windows and doors, and all the units are failing, right?
Oh yeah.
Starting to fog up. So it's like, oh yeah, we noticed, that these windows are fogging up, and so I hadn't done any of those particular types before. So we got in there and started doing them. It was like, man, it is a bear.
Yeah, but
Got,
that thin tool, we cut them right out. And
exactly. That's the trick.
yeah. Like I told the guy, yeah, we'll come out and do them, but I'll come out and maybe do 20 of them. And then I'll go do something else, come back again. I'm not going to go out there for a month or month and a half and work on it.
Just do that every day, day in, day out, all day long.
I said, I got other things in the fire besides you guys, so. And they're fine with it, so.
Yeah.
Just filling.
Yep. Yeah, think about doing those. They're like, okay, yeah, there's like, 20 of these that are gone bad. And you go do before you're done doing the 20, they found, oh wait, these 5 over here are bad.
Oh yeah, no, there's going to be more.
And it's like, I might as well just do them all.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Shower doors in Atlanta are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we are drowning. We need to hire probably 2 to 3 people, which is really great news. But Daniel, are you feeling the same way?
Yeah, I've got, unfortunately, a list of phone calls that I've missed and messages that I haven't gotten back to because we just can't, like, we're trying to figure out what we can take and what we can't take. And then, like, if I don't know you, chances are I might not be answering the phone call. I'm having to take care of the ones that have a name with the phone when they call versus the ones that are just, random numbers that are, it's trying to figure, it's a fine line that we're dancing as far as what are we missing out on and can we afford another person? Like we just hired a new hire who's hopefully he's an experienced person with another glass company, and hopefully he'll help us get caught up and get a little more efficiency so we can start pumping out some more work. But it's like, it's interesting. We're pretty big on the new construction aspect. We're pretty busy and we're not able to get to all the phone calls essentially. And it's like, what are we missing out on again? Here we go again, missing out on so much work. And just because we don't have the capacity to take care of it yet. And it's like, when can we afford to hire another person? It's like, So it's interesting to say the least.
Well, we feel the same way. I guess the question and the way I'm trying to fix my own brain is, can you afford not to hire another person?
Yeah.
It's like, if you are missing out on that much stuff, can you really afford not to hire another person? Where are you like, how are you all, everybody on this call, finding people? I know we've talked about this, but like, is Indeed working for you? Is, you know,
I'm noticing a lot more people looking for jobs right now. Like, we've got people from other places and just random people coming and looking for jobs. Because we honestly, we just keep our signs out there because we're always looking for somebody better and willing to work. We've got people, we know there's people that are losing their jobs, or like people are getting slow. Like the guy we just got came from another glass company that just got slow. They're having like 1 or 2 things to do a week. And that's not the case with us, So he made the switch, but it's there people are coming in. So I know there's some glass companies and places that are getting slow and not having enough work. I don't know why in our area, honestly, but it's giving us more options to choose from, and that's just from people coming in looking with no like sourcing from Indeed, no sourcing applications, just people coming in and finding us more or less, and just keeping their stuff on file and going back to them when we're ready.
yeah, that's
We've got so essentially now we're in the position where once we get these guys rolling, there's a few people that are like apprentice style people that we could possibly call back and see if they're still interested. And I mean, I honestly think a lot of these people that come in looking for apprentice jobs are willing to jump at something like what we do because it's new to them and they've never worked for the type of business they've done. They've either been through this is the companies where they're being paid to go work, or the heck are those companies where they're sourcing them and they get paid for their stuff? They're like the job, yes, whatever the heck they call it.
yeah,
like
then they get like a cut.
Yeah, exactly. So those people are coming into, like they're working factory stuff and they've always worked through people like that. And they don't know what it's like to like actually have their own job and have found their own job, So I'm sure that when we're ready to call them back, I'm sure more than likely they'll just jump on it. I would imagine.
I know, like, I think AI has scared a lot of people who are in more of the white collar work. Like, my husband is a software developer, and he looked at me the other day and was like, hey, would you hire me if my job gets taken by AI? And I laughed in his face, but I think a lot of people are getting scared about that. So maybe there's something to be said for that too. I wouldn't wish, that to happen for anybody, but we could get, I guess, more techie people. So
I see Rob shaking, agreeing.
Yeah, because we already have things that if you miss a call, it can automatically text them back standard text message. But there's also the other arm of that, which is you miss a call, they can call them back and then behave as your office assistant because you trained the AI to do that. And that adds a layer of work your office doesn't have to do. The surface questions, if not the entire process up to where you hand it off and you train your AI specifically when it needs to hand it off to you. And it's already here and we're building it and it's fun. It's already in use in a few places. So it's super cool and very crazy.
How does that apply? So these people are these people that have my personal phone number, they're not calling the office or anything like that. They're just people that have been referred to me somehow. They're calling directly to my phone. How do you integrate AI to your personal line and stuff like that so that it's working?
I don't know of an easy way to do it off the top of my head. Like I'm sure you could. It's just easier for me to go and build a brand new number through follow up or through anywhere else that I can integrate it with the open AI system, the ChatGPT or one of the random AIs they're allowing you to connect to these days. But it'd be super easy for me to buy a number and then build it into versus trying to convert a personal number. Because I know it would be possible. I just don't know if you need to port that number into your software and remove it as like your personal line and kind of put it into the system in order to achieve that or not. I wouldn't want to do that. I prefer to buy a new number and just route it to my cell phone.
Daniel, that's what I had to do with my dad's phone number specifically. As soon as I started working for him and realized how many calls he was trying to answer a day while being on site, I took his phone number away from him, and he got really, really, really mad at me. But nobody would do it. Nobody could do it. He wouldn't let them. And he let me barely, and now it's paid off, but it took some time. But yes, you will have to port, to not lose your contacts, you'll have to port your phone number and just get a new personal line.
Yep.
Nice.
Right.
And then
Well,
do a
Same phone number since high school, and I got to get rid of it, I guess.
You don't have to. Easy way is have the hard talk, which most owners and contractors don't. They say, yeah, I'll do that. And then 6 months into using the system, they're still answering half of the calls on their personal cell because they never forced the person to use the other phone number that you built and told them and trained them and asked them to refer to.
Well, and I can
Yeah.
speak to that too. I mean, even years later, it's been 4.5 years since I've been with my dad, and we still have like old friends, old neighbors text the number and just say, "Hey, Brad, it's, you know, whoever from whatever, and you know, hope you're doing well. Susan's 60th birthday is coming up, whatever the case." And our receptionist knows. I mean, she's just gonna come get him and be like, "Hey, this guy has a birthday party for you to go to." And honestly, she handles the schedule now too, so she can just schedule him to go to a birthday party if she wants.
Yeah. It's going to be a little overlap, you know. It's like I still get, you know, texts on my personal mobile phone from customers or potential customers, people who've been referred from somebody else. Oh, I got your number from Joe, and he says, you know, you can help me with the shower door, and so just try to figure out how to route them into the system, you know, so what I'll usually do, there's a, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, it's kind of work around it, you know, kind of copy their message, paste it into a new message that's from the system. So they, oh yeah, hey, yeah, this is me. This is my work number. This could, you know, if you reach me here, I'll respond to you, or you won't fall through the cracks, or you won't fall off the map. Let them know it's in their best interest to reach me this way, you know. But yeah.
Yeah.
And it allows you to go on vacation. Like it just, it allows you the freedom to go on vacation and for the system to work without you. And that's been important to me because, I don't know, I burn out quick. I don't know if I'm different from other people, but I just get tired. Darn it.
Oh yeah.
That's an option? I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know we were allowed to be tired. I got burnt out this week with people. I got tired of people, and I was ready to. My wife and everybody could feel it. Like I was just tired of people, but I was like, shit, I can't be tired of people. I have to go get these people out in the field working, and then have to do. You know, it's people. It's what we do. So I was like, had a huge front this week, dealing with people. And like the end of the last week and the beginning of like the end of the last week and beginning of this week, but it's gone away somehow. But it was just for a little while. It was like, get away, people.
Well, and not to turn this into like a whole therapy session, but you start to resent your job, and you don't want to resent your job because you know, we love what we do, and you need to take breaks when you need to take breaks, and you don't want to hate your coworkers either. And people get tired of each other, especially in our businesses when they're small and we see each other every day, sometimes more than our families. It's important for everybody to take breaks. And so even when some of our installers haven't taken a vacation in a long time, I like to tell them like, hey, you have more vacation days than everybody else. Do you need to take a trip or a staycation or whatever? Do you need some time off? Because it's going to ultimately be better for them and probably everyone else. I don't know. We don't really have the luxury of doing that right this second. We're super drowning, but happy about it.
Mhm.
How do you guys not burn out?
Not burnout. That's a good question. I'm not sure I'm not burned out.
Yeah, that's why I
That's
take
a
all next week off.
that's a very good topic for one of these meetings like tonight.
Yep.
I tend to go super hard
And
and then
here we are.
crash.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Me
can
too.
go hard for like a year or 2 years, and then I just crash and burn for a minute, for a week or two. It feels like I've noticed I did that when I was a salesman for the showers. When I was general manager, I noticed I was working hard day and night, and then no matter what I could do, it felt the progress wasn't there, on top of the feedback from the crew. And it felt like after a long time of that, I noticed there was that resentment, the build up, the like lack of like energy, the feeling, the motivation, the what am I doing feeling. And I knew I just needed to remove, and it was great. The little bit of time I had off to unwind, reprioritize, decompress. And as I was decompressing, all the solutions kind of came to me, but I had to remove myself from the environment. I had to remove myself from the pressure. I had to remove myself from the noise. And then by doing that, I saw my solutions like come to me, but it was like through time and breathing and walking my dog and spending time with family, quality time, and doing things I enjoyed. The solutions of the problems that were overwhelming me before just like came. That's been my experience. I wish they'd come in my flow and I didn't have to burn out hard, but I've noticed I keep doing that.
And
But
like,
it's hard not to. Your to-do list is forever long. Go ahead, Brian.
well, because I'm going through this right now. It's like it started kind of like Daniel was saying, it started last week and it's kind of rolled over into this week. And like I didn't become aware of it until I was already in it, right? And I was feeling it and experiencing it, and then it kind of registered, and I was able to recognize it. But like, do you guys wait till you're at that point where you feel the weight on your shoulders, where it's like, whoa, I need a break, let me step back? Or like, do any of you have like a scheduled, almost like a schedule where, like, you know, for a weekend, every 3 months, every 90 days or something, you just take a weekend and just do, you know, whatever it is. Maybe it's just nothing, you know, or something that you thoroughly enjoy, you know, whether it be, you know, something you're passionate about, or experience a new hobby. Like, do you guys have any kind of schedule that you follow? Anybody? Or is it just kind of, once you start feeling funky, it's like, oh, damn, it's probably time for me to kind of pull back a little bit and kind of recenter and you know, get back to neutral, get back to level?
It's a good question. Like, my husband is a work to live kind of guy. And so he always has a trip planned. So we always have a trip coming up. And it might be 3 months away, but we have something to look forward to, a break to work towards, or something to pace ourselves against, I think. So, and he plans all the trips because it stresses me out. I'm not good at that stuff. And, but I would recommend having somebody else maybe pull you out of it on a more regular basis, because you're not always going to be able to see it yourself.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
No schedule.
Fun!
Hey, what's up, Sean?
I'll
Mr. AGI,
Hey, bud.
welcome.
designate someone to be my reminder.
Is this guy gonna pull us all out of our therapy session?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
What's
he
up?
is.
Could
Sean's
be.
the man.
Help us.
I have a feeling we need a therapy session, because there was only like 6 people, it looked like, in here before this, and everybody else is either having fun or they're burnt out.
Everyone's
Right.
on vacation.
People are on vacation, you know, it's that kind of that time
Yeah.
of year. But I love
Yeah.
what Christina's saying about that, like just having something on the calendar. I mean, even if, you know, if it's a few months away and you know you're not going to get a break. It's summertime, it's your busy season, it's going to be busy, you're going to be working long hours. You're not going to get a break all summer. But at the end of summer, you've got a trip planned. You're going to Acapulco or whatever you're going to do, taking a little cruise, whatever it is. I mean, that's something that you can draw on, every day of just like, oh man, just kind of fantasize about that.
And it's also great too, because like I've been, dropping it in the conversation here and there. Like, I'm going to be gone for a week in July to some of our technicians. And so you can't forget your hardware because I'm not going to be able to drive it out to you. I'm not going to be able to, like, it's not like they can't live without me or anything. They're fine. But like, it's certainly helpful to have a driver, a runner or something, somebody to answer questions or get on FaceTime with. And it's like, you guys are going to have to figure this out yourself this week. You'll have to be on your best behavior. And it's like a mental preparation for them too throughout the summer, I guess, to, if I call Christina now, what would I do instead when she's out of town? I don't know if they think like that, but I hope they do.
I like to make them think like that when they ask me things. Sometimes I'll force them to, like, what would you do if I wasn't here? Like, you say this is an emergency, but pretend I'm not accessible. Like, what are you gonna do? Figure it out. What are you gonna do if I'm not here?
Yeah.
And then and then they tell you, and like, okay, yeah, that's actually a perfect solution. Do it. You didn't need me. So
yeah,
That's great.
Force them to be in the situation and pretend like you weren't available when you're available, and you can see what they say. And then, yeah, okay, now do this when I'm actually gone, when you need help.
That's smart.
good management.
I do something similar to that. Like Tiffany will have questions. Like she'll come and ask me questions, something I think that she already knows the answer to, but she's just like, she wants my reassurance. She's got a customer on the line, and it's like, hey, how wide, can a door be, or how wide can a panel be? Then when you're ending a door off it, and whatever. And a lot of times I'll just ask her, well, I mean, what do you think? What would you say if you had to, come up with the answer yourself? And she's almost always got the right answer. I'm like, yeah, that's right. And the good thing about that is there is something about hearing yourself say the answer that sticks a lot deeper than having somebody else. Like, I can tell you the answer over and over and over again. And I know from experience, it's like, it's not really getting down into the subconscious or whatever, But when somebody asks me the question and I put it back on them and they come up with the answer, I think that really cements it, in their mind. And it's like, oh, okay, they can remember it. And it's I think sometimes they think I'm being mean or something. I am pretty.
But it's good though, because then they'll start solving those problems without even taking them to you, and then they'll never, it's one less thing for them to come to you for, because they've solved that problem before and they feel comfortable addressing it. So it's just, they're not bringing those issues to you anymore. It's like now they can solve them themselves. So it's good. And then it's just less things being brought to you. Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. And I'll say, yeah, that's good, or no, it's not. This is what I would do.
That's
I love that. I always ask.
Oh, go ahead, Christine.
Same point though, is I always ask, they're like, well, we've got a problem here, it's this and it's this and it's this. And it's like, okay, well, what, as the installer on site with eyes on the problem, what do you recommend? And that's kind of the first thing I ask. And then we start problem solving from there. If it's not quite maybe fully fleshed out, but it definitely helps. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much the exact same thing. And it's just that same principle applies here. When, if an installer calls in and they're, hey, you know what? Well, I've got this problem. And you ask them, well, what do you think the solution is? Most of the time they'll come up with a pretty good solution. They might not though, and they might have to be like, man, I'm stumped on this one. I have no idea what to do. And then you can start making suggestions. Well, what about this? What if you turn it over or whatever? Can you hide that? What if you block the other side up a little more, put it down a little lower, you know, or whatever. Sometimes it seems really obvious to me, but because they're in the situation, there's some emotional, you know, uh, baggage attached. When you're in the situation, you're on the spot, you're under pressure. It can be a little bit more emotional. When you're like 40 miles away, it's like, man, I'm not emotional about it at all. Again, you know, it's like solving those problems. And I want to train my guys to call me and say, hey, this is the situation. This is what I think I should do. That's the ideal thing. You know, this is the situation. This is what I think I should do before I even ask what you think you should do.
And like some of this is like in reference, right, to like troubleshooting, right, on site, unforeseen issues or problems that may arise during an install. And like for some of you guys that like train or have some type of training program for like your new hires or your apprentice guys, do you also attempt to train them in that area of troubleshooting and problem solving from the jump? Or is it just kind of like what once it comes up on a case by case basis, you know, then you begin the training on the solution to this particular problem? Like if we run into this, this is typically, you know, what we'll try to do to resolve it. Or do you kind of take care of that on the front end?
We do a little
That's a
bit
good
of both.
question.
We're all the big guys, you know, tonight. Like,
Yeah.
who have the real answers to these questions, you know?
We do a little bit of both, you know. I mean, it's a combination. You know, you give them. I mean, how many problems can you run into in a job site? A lot. So we kind of do the basics up front, you know, and then it's as they come up, they're teachable moments, you know. So you kind of teach them, you know, because and you're not going to have that same teachable moment every time, but with what we do, and I say with what we do because we're a specialty company more or less, so we're not just doing shower doors. So there is an enormous amount of things that can be teachable moments that we don't teach up front necessarily. So we do a little bit of both, you know, in the field, on the fly, and up front.
Same.
Yeah, I think if you're a smaller company, you almost have to do that, right?
Yeah.
We have like, they'll be with a seasoned installer. We usually run a 2-man crew, and somebody who's new is not going to be working alone. And so the basic stuff, an installer will be able to tell them. We have a troubleshooting guide for the it doesn't fit. Like if it doesn't fit, don't just call me and say it doesn't fit. You know, tell me what about it doesn't fit. You know, did you measure the glass? Does the glass match the cut sheet? Does the opening match what was measured? Does the, you know, then we can look at deductions, then we can look at other stuff. But it's like you need to go through those processes before, because the answer 9 times out of 10 before we had that troubleshooting guide was flip the panel. It's backwards. So, you know, you got it upside down or whatever the case. So, yeah, we at least have that. I'll say that.
Okay.
That's a cool idea. I like that. Maybe like a FAQ for like, it doesn't fit. Here, check this, check this, check that. That's a great idea.
It's a flow chart. Yeah, it's a flow chart that I have. I drew it on a piece of paper. It's really ugly, actually, but it's a nice flow chart. That does this match? Yes. Does this match? Yes. Then this. So we had one last week or this past week where, and it's come up a couple times this month, where we did a removal and the person's tile comes off the wall with the frame because it's rotted underneath, and it's not something that we saw during measuring. In these two cases, one of them we probably could have seen it during measuring, and one of them we definitely wouldn't have known. What do you guys do in those situations? I mean, we just say, call Brad, you know. Call Brad.
Nope. Tell him to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've been in that situation. And just, you know, it was a situation where they were just kind of flipping, so we were switching out the enclosure, an old framed enclosure for a frameless one, and just went and grabbed the homeowner or the designer, whoever it was, and just brought him in there. Hey, check this out. Tiles are falling off the wall. What do you want to do? It's like, do you want me to just stop, or do you want me to just do my best to, glue them back in place,
To make it happen, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's obviously not our fault. We didn't put the tile off. The situation I was in, she was very gracious about it, and like, yeah, she was trying to get out of the house anyway, right? So, so that was, yeah, I don't know if there's like a really a standard answer you can give someone for that, other than just like, stop, don't keep pulling tiles off the wall, right?
Yeah.
Definitely want to pause for sure, regroup, man.
I think we don't have it happen too often because we don't do too many pullouts and reinstalls. But we've done some, and I think like we've had it happen, and it's like they've either had us continue putting the shower door in, and they can butt tile up to our stuff. Like if it's a new framed door going in place of a framed door, like, and most of the times they are just selling the house, so they honestly could care less. They will say, put it in and we will tile up to your frame door, and then other times, they'll make us stop and they'll fix the tile, but then it becomes an issue of finding the tile.
Yeah.
That's the big issue, so like, that's a difficult one, honestly. We don't run into that too often.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and Christine and I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but I think we need to rethink how we're doing these, because it's happening more frequently than it's happening more frequently than we let on, I guess, and it's presenting problems, because we have one going on right now that really needs to be totally demolished and redone. Has 2 knee walls, and by the way, I'm walking, so I'm a little bit, going up a hill. But so anyway, we have this glass ordered already, and
Right.
so in my mind, I think we've done a little bit of a disservice to the customer. So we might have to rethink the way we present to the customer what the plan is. And in my mind, we have some partnerships with some grout people. So, maybe sick the grout people on them first, let them do the demolition. And if they run into a problem, nothing's ordered. So it's no longer a problem. But I don't know. We do need to talk about that. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, this one's obviously, it's like not our fault. I don't know that we've done a disservice to the customer. I mean, I didn't, in any of the photos, I didn't see any indication of
no, but it's happened.
Damage.
It's happened several times, quite a few times. We had one, about a month ago, I think. We were taking the frame door down, and a whole row of tiles on the bottom just falls off. And
inside the shower too.
Inside the shower, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of these older doors have damage, and you can't really tell it. And of course, we have a lot of disclaimers on our contract, which is darn good. I mean, it's as clear as you can see that we are not responsible. We don't know the condition of the deal, and that there's risk involved.
Right.
So we've got all that in place. That's good. But we've had quite a few of these things happen, and I'm kind of, I feel like now if we redo this whole shower, we probably need to work a deal with new glass,
And are you guys?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
You guys are typically doing your rip out and you're doing your final measurements for your new enclosure, and then doing your rip out and hopefully you're reinstalling the same day. Are you guys ever
Yes.
making 2 trips? Like I'll try and do 2 trips if
Mm.
it's within reason and it's doable. I'll try to go and do the rip out and removal to confirm that, existing tile is going to remain. And then, I can pull my measurements there and then
I
I'll
like
order it. I
that.
mean, it adds a little bit to the lead time, which people don't always love. But it saves the possibility of being put in a position such as what we're talking about. Again, it's not always an option, and sometimes people just are not into it. But that's what we'll try and do. I mean, that's what I'll push for, and I'll try to explain it the best I can, so they are able to understand it, like from my point of view too, from a practical sense, the reason why we prefer to do it that way. It's helped a couple times, it's saved us a couple times doing it that way, where the removal was done and lo and behold, tiles are just dropping off the wall. And then oftentimes when the tiles are that bad where they're just falling off, there's typically more damage behind those tiles that needs to be addressed. They've been having some kind of water leak that they didn't know about, and the bottom of the wall is all rotted out, and maybe the pan's cracked or whatever it is, things that they didn't know they had until you kind of get in there and open it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think
Good point.
that I think like it's happened twice in a month, but look how many removals and installs we've done in a month. And I wonder if the trade-off is necessarily worth it. If it became
Yeah.
more frequent than this, then I think yes. But right now, I think just setting the expectation with the customer. Like I measured one today that was a
There's
closer
nothing
marble
wrong
cap.
with what Brian just said. I think what he had was a perfect solution. And I think we ought to push the customer a little bit. And if they push back and say, no, we want to do it, because we don't want to have to use the kids' bathroom, we can do it like we always have. And if there's a risk, but I do like that idea.
There are a couple of advantages to it. I mean, one is like what Brian is saying is like you get much better dimensions if the old enclosure is out, right? Takes all the guesswork out of it. You can see, how sound the tile work is. And another thing is if it's possible, so this isn't always possible, but if it's possible for the person who's doing the measure to pull it. If you're a one-man show, it's like you are the guy, right? So I mean, you can go there and you can be, hey, I'm here right now. You want to pull it out right now? Then it doesn't cost you an extra trip. And in addition to that, they're pretty committed. I mean, it's like you've closed the deal. If you pulled out their old enclosure. Now, sometimes people can't live without it a week or two, whatever it takes to turn around. I mean, like Brad's saying, you're not going to get them to do it every time, but it's worth asking the question, especially if you're looking at the shower and you're like, man, this tile was put in the 80s,
Yeah.
or the 70s, I mean,
Probably on green board.
there's a good chance that this tile is not going to stick.
You could possibly just maintain your normal routine, but then when you see those outliers that look like, hey man, this is possibly going to have some trouble, let's do this method where we're pulling it out beforehand and selling them that way versus your traditional method, and because sometimes you can look at it and be like, this is going to be a nightmare or just bad. And then that's the ones where you say, hey, this is the way we're going to do it so that we can find these problems ahead of time. And then there's others that you can look at and just be like, yeah, this one should be fine. It's, it's new tile. They just want to frame a store or something, I think you might be able to make that distinction when you're selling the job, like how to approach it as well. Like, do we need to do it the way Brian's talking and do 2 separate trips just to find these problems? Or do you change the, so you don't have to change your whole thing? Because I don't think it's like Christina, you're saying it's not all of them possibly. It's just happens to be a few recently. And like, are these your outliers? Like I was listening to somebody talk about a bell curve the other day. Are these the outliers on the bell curve? Like you got your highs, you got your lows, you got your jobs that are amazing and you got your jobs that are nightmares, but the majority of them fall inside the lines. So do you kind of pick these out ahead of time and decide, hey, this is the way we're going to do it. If we're going to do the job, this is the way we're doing it. We're taking this out beforehand because we can tell there's crap behind these walls, possibly, you know? Just
Well, anything, let's say we could even put an age limit on it and say anything that's more than 10 years old or 15 years old, whatever it is, we
Any brass.
we really highly recommend that we do the extraction before we order glass. And
yeah, another good thing about that is the cleanup. Because it's like, I'll tell you, the guys, our guys are good. They're good guys and everything. And they'll, take the old one out. They'll clean it up pretty good, but they're not going to do like a maid service on their bathroom. They're going to clean up the old silicone, cut it out, clean it up as good as they can. You know how that is. I mean, it's not that easy to get all the residue off, and they're not going to spend 2 hours.
You never
they can't.
do.
They can't.
You
So
never
it's
do.
like, so if you get the enclosure out first and give them time to get in there and clean it, they can get a cleaning service in there. We will actually.
I like that.
Yeah. So now I don't know about you guys, but we charge for them. Right. So we're charging them for the down to come out. And we're charging like $200 standard removal.
Yeah.
So like we'll pull it out, dispose it, haul it off to the dump, $200.
It takes almost as much time to clean it as it does to install it.
Totally.
If not more.
Totally. And like, and part of my pitch is like, look, you could probably hire a handyman to do it for half that. And have time to clean, and then get it clean, professionally clean for the other half. So for what I'm going to charge you is to take it out and kind of clean it up. You could probably get it pulled out and like professionally cleaned and all that. So I mean, I don't mind losing that $200. I'd much rather have somebody else do it. I'd much rather have the handyman pull it out and break the tiles or whatever. But
That's a good point.
so that's an option too, and that works pretty good. A lot of times, sometimes people will think, "Oh, that's a great idea." A lot of times people are like, "Oh, you guys can just do it." But yeah, I set their expectations, too, for it. It's like, hey, there's going to be holes back there. We're going to do our best to cover those holes. Some of the holes we're not going to be able to cover. There's going to be 3 holes on the strike side of the door. They're not going to cover. I mean, when the door glass will cover it when the door is closed. When you open it, they're going to show. We'll caulk them. We'll do our best to camouflage them. But I mean, I really try to set people's expectations on that. I don't want people to be disappointed or feel like I overpromised and underdelivered on one of those things. So it's like, there are a lot of kind of angles to come at this from.
I tell you what, I'm kind of disappointed right now. This Sean guy showed up to the thing and he's got some fun videos and he just left me hanging. I was hoping to hear from him. Who is this Sean guy? Seems pretty cool and interesting, and he just came in and just left.
I know, he's like the mystery.
He's
man.
really cool.
He left me hanging.
Which video is that?
The Sean guy, he's always got some fun videos, and this is the first time I've seen him on a call since I've been joining them, and I was getting excited. I thought I was going to hear from the Sean guy.
It was a teaser.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe next week. Maybe
keeps you coming back.
Yeah. Maybe he's just teasing us for next week.
I'm
going to come and bring the goods.
I'm going to have to stay tuned.
Yeah, man.
No, I had a
He
shower
does
panel
the craziest.
for an architect.
Yeah, he does.
Originally put in a corner shower for him, semi-frameless. And he came in and saw some back painted glass that I had done. So he decided he wanted to do his corner shower with back painted glass and a 3/8 flame shower. Only one trick was that was the only shower in the house. So I had to go over there, measure it with the old one in place, measure for back painted glass on both walls with new shower valves, and then tear everything out and put the back painted glass in one day and go put the corner shower back in the next day.
So now, did you lay out the shower to set on the outside edge of the glass?
No, the walls were back painted glass.
So you had to drill through the glass to install.
No,
your-
we did top and bottom
Oh, okay, yeah.
pivot hinges, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah. There you
clips
go.
and stuff.
Smart.
And plus he picked new shower hardware. So he picked where all that was going to be. Ordered the back painted glass, that took 4 weeks to get.
Mhm.
And ordered ordered everything at once, so. One day went over and put the back painted glass in, next day we went and put the 3/8 glass in. And all fit like a glove, you know. And then he even had a fan in the ceiling.
I want to see a photo. Where's the photo?
Well, my phone was dead,
Oh,
and then he doesn't believe in cell phones.
the fish that got
I could take a
away.
picture of
It's
it.
this big.
Yeah, and so in the top corner of glass, he put a inside radius to clear the shower, I mean, the fan
Okay.
opened up. So.
Tim,
That's the last time I saw something like that.
this is a stupid question. I'm sure it's a stupid question.
I love
You
stupid
you
questions.
can't just have. I'm here all the time, Chris, for this is me. You can't just put back painted glass in a shower. You have to layer it. Is that right?
No, it's tempered.
It's just talking about so that the paint doesn't come off the back of the glass.
Yeah. I guess that's
Right?
my question. So you sandwich it.
That was it, no.
No, they have a treatment. They have a coating that will, that will like waterproof it, basically.
Yeah, this came from Pulp Studios, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And you just glue it up with 795 silicone and that's it.
Okay.
But that's
good.
the
So you don't
wall.
have to worry about that.
Yeah, against the wall. And you see
Yeah, it's your wall. It is glass that's glued onto the wall, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I just followed you along.
Oh, that's what I missed.
yeah, the back painted
That's
glass was
cool.
glued to the wall. And then
Mhm.
we had channel in the wall that then they had laminated glass for the surround because they wanted to obscure and
Wow.
put it in.
Tim, you've
Hmm.
got to go knock on that guy's door.
Huh?
So now for
You
the
have to go knock on that guy's door.
lammy, did you
picture.
use like Century Layer?
I got it from Pulp Studios and they said it would work and
They guaranteed it against
Yeah,
delaminating in the
yeah,
wet
so we did this
environment.
one panel, it's 5 feet wide, 9 feet tall,
Wow.
with a notch and all these shower valves. And you can only have one shower valve, water valve. And you can have a mixer valve. Well, he wanted another overhead shower. So he plumbed everything in. When the job was done, signed off, we went in and blew up that panel, took it off the wall, ordered another one with another shower valve in
Jeez,
for about $7,000.
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
And all the other shower walls are all back painted glass too.
Tim's over in kind of a rich neighborhood. Say that, but-
And it wasn't easy to get in the house. We had to crank it up on the outside deck to get it in.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All
Seen it
the
all.
upstairs glass we had to crank up on one of these cranks you can, like a scissor lift, like a forklift, you can raise things.
Yeah. One of those, what do they call those? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
A
they had
lull?
an
they
A-frame.
use them for duct work all the time.
Yeah, and I had an A-frame attached to it. Raise it up, all the mirrors, shower glass that went upstairs. 15-foot piece of laminated glass for a handrail.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Tasty.
I
Wow.
would not have slept.
That's one of those high pressure situations for me.
Yeah, then the main stairwell going up, that was 3/4 inch Starfire temper glass.
Wow, really? 3/4 inch.
Yeah, and then you got up on top, you can walk on the floor, and that was 1.125 thick glass.
They like class.
Yeah, yeah.
I like people that like class.
Plus the 150 feet of glass railing around the front of the house.
Right? Of
Oh
course.
golly, man, that's huge.
And then up the
What
stairs.
does this person do for a living?
Huh?
They probably don't do anything.
No,
What-
I don't do anything.
Count their money.
Yeah. Of
Count money for a living.
course, this was his second house at the time, so.
Yeah, beach house.
But I think they finally moved into it. That
Nice.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I
The
love
whole
working
house
down
was
there. in
glass. I
Columbia.
didn't do that part. But
We'll have to have a call where we talk about the craziest shower doors we've ever done, or the most expensive ones, or the craziest way to get glass in a house. Or all
Love
three.
that. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
It's a fun topic. We just had some guys in a football player's house today over in Roswell, and it's a very interesting house. I can only imagine the money the guys made on the handrails. The handrails are intense in this house. I don't know exactly the guy's name. One of my installers found out, but I don't know if we're allowed to say who it is, but there's just another sports player and stuff. And it is a very, very fun modern house, and it's very interesting and fun. So we're going back tomorrow for the training facility to put some mirrors for a mirror wall. It's a fun job, but it's a one-off, but they're fun.
oh yeah.
Post some photos.
I have them. I've got to find out if I'm allowed to post the photos and stuff like that. I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can, as long as I don't say anything.
getting
But I don't know how that
That's a
works.
private group, so.
They didn't tell me I can't.
Right.
So as long as I keep it with no, keep no
Don't
names.
post the
and names there.
address. Right. Don't
Yeah,
post the
exactly.
address.
It's I don't know how that stuff works,
Sounds
anyways.
like-
I mean, I took the pictures and it's their house, but I'm not saying anything about the
Well,
address or name.
until they
So,
write the final check, I think you own the glass.
yeah, so, well, yeah, it's pictures of the house because the house is freaking cool.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah,
That
then
would be a fun
I went to
topic.
a house today, 12,000 square feet. And I took some pictures of that phantom slider,
Ooh, nice.
and
Yay.
they like
Hey, that's a quick question. Where is everybody getting those phantom sliders from? Because I'm seeing them and I want to offer them at some point.
They come from 310
310.
Temperate.
Is that what I thought? Okay, that's what I was thinking.
because
Another
the
account.
wife will like these, but the husband.
Yeah, I'll send you his info, Daniel. He did a call recently. I'll send you his email and link to the video he did when he was on a call. He did a call with us.
Yeah.
live
Rick
stream.
Abrams. Good guy. Good people. Great product.
Yeah.
Love them. 310 Temperate. All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up, man. This was a lot of fun.
Next week.
Do it again next week.
All right, see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
See ya.
Feel better.